Hi, would anyone else like to talk on camera? Hello, would you like an interview?
No, thank you, but thank you.
Okay, no problem. Oh no. Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Do you have time for an interview?
Sure, what the heck?
I don't know if you heard my spiel already, but I'm just independent journalist, just here talking to people.
Yeah. My name's Eric Schiller. I'm a retired prof from the University of Ottawa in civil engineering, actually. Water resources. I've been overseas a lot. Did a lot of work in the third world. And I'm really, like I was talking to my friend here, we're like a lot of people, I'm very concerned about the climate crisis because that's the biggie. That's going to swamp everything. It's going to even swamp the Yemen problem. But I'm here because the military is a big polluter and it's a large contributor to the climate crisis coming on. So that's why I'm here. The Yemen is a sad case. We're indirectly helping Saudi Arabia do its war over there by selling military equipment. And I hope the government gets the message that, hey, there's a lot better things we can do with our money rather than waste it in military spending. If we take the money from the military and work on green jobs and renewed economy, we could stop a lot of wars, because the wars are caused by inequality. Anyway, that's why I'm here, and we're sending a message to the Prime Minister, and I hope he gets it. I mean, I got all this in the Vietnam War. I'm that old. The Vietnam War was one of the worst wars we've ever committed, and it ripped our hearts out to see what the heck. I was in the States. My wife's American. I spent 9 years there studying. Yeah, and doing other stuff. So that's why we're here. Mixing the climate crisis and the war crisis are united, like one is causing the other. Because we're neglecting the real crisis. The big one's coming. The climate crisis is so big it's going to swamp everything. We say, why in the hell didn't we do something earlier? And the war machine is contributing to it, and so that's why we're here.
And so you've been involved in these kinds of events for a long time.
Oh yeah. Southern Civil Rights Group with Martin Luther King got thrown in jail with John Lewis. Oh boy. Why were we thrown in jail? We were trying to go into a church. It was in Americus, Georgia, and the church was an all-white church. We didn't think that was very good. That didn't sound very Christian. So some blacks and whites, and the leader of the black was John Lewis, and I was the white guy, tried to go into the church, and they stopped us. And they had a discussion, and then they threw us in jail. We were charged with two things: disturbing divine worship and trespassing on private property. That's where I got started in this, and then went into the Vietnam War protest, and quit my university studies, Kent State in 1970, when they shot 4 students for protesting against the war. So it just goes on and on and on. Yeah. We got some issues. We got to work at it, though. There's another human rights worker there.
I got her already. She was gave a very good interview.
She's a good interviewer. Yeah.
You didn't get my name. I don't know if you want it.
No, I didn't.
Jane Keeler, Keeler.
I just like first names because I
Oh,
wouldn't
Jane,
hate to be
that's
responsible for
Sure.
tracking anyone down. You know.
Good stuff. And what are you going to do with this when you're?
I just edit them together, try to take out my fumbling, and then put them on the internet.
Okay.
So far, I only have three viewers, but I just started last week.
All right. Okay. Good. Well, it's good to spread the word. You never know who will read it and get touched and actually do something. That's the trick. Yeah.
What advice would you give to young Canadians?
Oh yeah. Okay. We've got to look. The advice I give to them, your therapy is when you learn about the mass extinctions and the one that's coming, your best therapy is to work away at it to try and mitigate it. Sitting and complaining and analyzing and talking won't do it. Go out and do what you can to try and mitigate it. And what have I done? For example, I got solar panels on the roof. I got an electric car. I ride my bike. Where is it? There it is.
Oh, what a beast.
Ride my bike. I'm not going to take any more airplanes. No, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because in my overseas water resources work, I was in an airplane all the time. You big bloody idiot. Bloody hypocrite. But, that was then and this is now. I didn't realize what airplanes and all our lifestyle was doing to the climate. Now we know. So change your lifestyle and then spread it to others. But you can't spread it to others if you haven't done it yourself. So that's why I'm doing all these things. My kids are out west. I talked to my daughter, said, you know what, when I die, don't bother coming here for a funeral. We'll do the funeral by Zoom. I mean, we've got to change everything. If we don't, everything is going to change. There's a good quote.
I'm going to go a little bit off topic now.
Good.
Out of all the prime ministers, excluding Justin Trudeau, who is your favorite?
Well, Tommy Douglas, the guy who brought us Medicare. I mean, what a guy, eh?
Yeah.
Medicare is a beautiful thing. And, poor old states. I've spent 9 years down there with my wife's American. They haven't got it yet, and they're struggling with their medical system. It's all pay as you go, and the rich get treated well and the poor don't. Here we've got nationally funded medical services, and it's wonderful. So Tommy Douglas, I think everybody else agrees too. He's one of the most famous prime ministers, apparently. Yeah.
How has the lockdown affected you positively?
Oh, well, look, here's the other thing. It's annoyed me, I can't get around, but I'm the white privilege class, let's face it. So I just calm down and do things more carefully and guide right. But think of the poor and the homeless, and I think a lot of the third world. I've been in the Congo, I've been in Haiti, I've been in Gaza. Like, I'm a water engineer to really desperate places, and so think of it there. I keep every morning I wake up and said, why am I so bloody privileged? I guess I'll have to do something with this privilege. So when you ask me how it affected me, frankly, not much. I don't run around, I do things by Zoom more instead of person to person, but it's showing our inequalities. There's a lovely book, the spirit, the balanced spirit shows what inequality creates all our problems. And so I see this lockdown revealing our inequalities in big time.
Do you have time for some more questions?
Sure.
What is your favorite source of news?
AlJazeera.com. You know what? I really like that because, okay, the problem is it's funded by a billionaire from Qatar. So when they're not very critical of Qatar, but basically they call it plus and minus. They tell you the good and the bad all over the place. Now it's an Arabic-based station, so I like the fact that a number of Arab countries don't like what they're telling them about it. So I think of all the ones I go for that one. The BBC's not bad also. And I look at the big ones too, CNN, CBC, and Politico. But AlJazeera.com, it's free, it's on the internet. It's free because this billionaire is paying for it. So you got to watch out.
Who is your favorite news anchor ever?
Oh boy, favorite news anchor. Yeah, that's a good one.
Did you think these were going to be easy questions?
This one's not. I was going to say Cuomo. I don't think. I was going to say Manfield, but I don't think so. He lobbed a few soft questions at Harper and let him off the hook. Yeah. I watched Hard Talk with BBC. That guy, whatever his name is, he's good. He peppers away both sides. I like news where they tell both sides together arguing with each other. So, in fact, you know what? I even watch Fox News. Why do I watch Fox News? I want to know what the other side's up to. And I don't think you should shut down Fox News. If they're getting into violent movements, shut them down. And I'm personally very glad they took Trump off Twitter. God, he was spreading so many lies and provoking so much violence. But okay, I haven't really come up with it. The guy on Hard Talk with BBC. I don't even remember his name, but he's very good. Okay.
Have you developed any new habits during the lockdown?
Reading a lot more. I keep up my exercises. I read a lot more, and I'm reading Gabor Mate, The Hidden Power of Stress. Well, almost every disease in the world is made worse by stress, so get out of stress, calm yourself down. And that's kind of hard for an activist, eh? But So reading, exercise on my own at home. I'm still going around on my bike. By the way, I was on my bike. Here's the thing. I was on my bike. I used to not wear a helmet. There's my helmet over there. I ran into a car and got knocked unconscious for 30 minutes. And so now that was a warning shot across the bow. Maybe I should be more careful, and I got a helmet and so on.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah, I'm learning, still.
What is the best country in the world? And why?
Well, Canada's pretty good, considering I've been to a lot of bad places. I lived in Africa for 8 years. My son was born there. He's now a surgeon. I've been to some really bad places, like the Congo, DR Congo, where there's terrible things going on. Been to Gaza twice. Been to Haiti. I think compared to them, a lot of countries are better. In Latin America, I'd go for Costa Rica. In Africa, I'd go for, we lived in Tanzania and Senegal. Those are two good ones. In Africa, Tanzania and Senegal. But Canada's pretty amazing with all our complaining and grumbling. I'll go for Canada. When I come back home, I say, geez, are we ever privileged? We've been to some horrible places, and this is a lot better.
Has the lockdown brought families closer together?
Through the Zoom, through the internet, yeah, but not physically. I think it in a way it has. Like I'm communicating with our kids. I got 2 kids out west, and they've got kids. I'm a grandfather, so somewhat, because we're communicating more by Zoom and things.
I've got, what is your best tip to make the world a better place?
Get rid of the military. I mean, if Costa Rica has no military, because the military spending, it just keeps going up and up and up, and when you got the weapons, then you have to find a war to use them. So that would see, and also make health care for everyone through government funding. That would be a good start. And then work on this environmental thing. Get everybody working on the environmental thing together. The environmental is going to get us.
Are there any funny stories your family tells about you that come to mind?
Oh my God. Yeah, I made some pretty stupid mistakes in my day. I've learned 4 languages. I learned Spanish, French, Swahili, and English. And when I was learning Spanish, I made some real bloopers. My God, I made awful mistakes. And that's a source of great joy to hear me talk. Because to learn a language, you got to become a little kid again and make mistakes and don't be embarrassed. So, like in Latin America, I once lost my cushion. The word for cushion is cojín. And I went into a travel agency and I said, se me perdió mi cojón. Cojón is your testicles. And she looks at me and she says, oh, señor, que desgracia. How bad is that? Lo siento. I said, well, it's about this big. I said, oh, señor, yo lo tengo. I have it here. But she must have gone home and said, this old guy come into our office today and he said he lost his testicle. Oh, my God. So, I mean, you make mistakes like that and you better laugh at it because that's part of learning a language as an adult.
Very good story.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up now. Here's a good one you haven't heard. How did your grandmother and grandfather meet?
Okay, I don't know. They're both. I'm a child of immigrants. They both. My mother's from Finland and my dad's from Switzerland. But I can say my mother and father met in a German. My mother was Finnish immigrant. My dad was Swiss immigrant, and they met at a German wedding in Toronto. So I don't even know how my grandparents met. I didn't even know them. I never met them. Oh yes, I met my Finnish grandmother once. Yeah.
What was the biggest reward about teaching?
Well, I think that being with my graduate students, you get a lot closer to graduate students than your undergraduate students. And the 2 of them in Africa. One was Matthew Luhanga, and I was teaching applied calculus, getting ready for their A levels, which is like first year university. And this guy was so smart that I would give them the problems to work out, and I'd walk around helping them out. When he put up his hand, I said, "Oh dear God, I hope I know the answer." He's about 10 questions ahead of everybody else, and so he became the president of the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. That was a joy. The other one was Patrick Kahengere, who was the smartest guy we ever had in my second time there. And he was very dedicated, very hardworking. He became the CEO of the Nile Basin Authority, which is an authority to govern the 9 countries that feed the water of the Nile and try and resolve all their problems. This is a heck of a job. So the fact that I had a little bit to do in training them is very satisfying. That's the biggest joy. Seeing your students who are at times smarter than you go out and really do a good job.
Well, thank you very much for the interview. 16 minutes, my longest one yet.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's great.